Well, I think, look, I was struck with the progress that Etihad had been making in terms of progress already, even before you start looking at the next generation of planes and the potential shift to sustainable aviation fuels. Because, look, I think sorting that part of the industry, I think, is going to be a really important part of a pathway. And to see the progress already being made before you have those further shifts from new planes, and then something we're working a lot on at B of A, trying to drive the development of sustainable aviation fuel, which I think will make a big difference and could reduce emissions further by some sort of 80% if we can mobilise capital and scale in that industry. So that was one that struck me. But look, more broadly, I think it's just great getting a lot of people who got different perspectives on the same stage. When we had lawyers, bankers, aviation folks, investors, people from the rail industry and ports industry on the last panel I was part of, and it's great to get everyone's perspectives. I think there's a lot to learn and a lot of partnerships to develop together. I think they're critical. I think it's part of, as I mean, mobilising dialogue, mobilising companies, and I always look back on conferences and see whether they're a success in 6 to 12 months' time, right? Which is if you've made the connections, those connections have led to new business, new partnerships, cooperations, and I think this is going to take a lot of public and private sector partnership. It's also going to take a lot of private and private partnership to make things happen. And these sort of conferences, I think, are a great catalyst in that respect. And also the other part, I think, is just you walk away with maybe one or two, as you said, catching ideas or things that have really been thought-provoking that are worthwhile and make you take that away too from a conference like this. So I think when you look at the transportation sector, I mean, it's a big chunk of emissions. It's critical to global trade, and I think if you're going to see things like hydrogen move and you're going to see things like carbon capture move, there's going to need to be more shipment of ammonia, of carbon. So the industry of itself is a big emitter. In order for the industry to have an impact and create new industries that reduce carbon intensity, you're going to need more ships. That means more fuel for those ships. So I think the whole conversation on the shipping side is huge, and likewise on aviation. I think it's something where it's a hard to abate sector, and therefore working on how you can be much more energy efficient, and also how you can drive new technologies and innovations like sustainable aviation fuel are going to be super important.